Hello friends, Kurt Bergland, back with my Monday book review. That's right, every Monday at 10 a.m. I review a baseball book. Could be fiction, could be nonfiction, could be out of print, could be hot off the presses, could be somewhere in between. And today I've got one of those somewhere in betweens. The writer is, well, you know what? Before I tell you about this book, I gotta talk to Internet Guy. You know Internet Guy. You have seen Internet Guy's work. Internet Guy is the guy who does book reviews for whatever website. You name it, any book website. Internet Guy's been there. And here's what Internet Guy does. Well, he writes his review. Well, you know, the book is okay, but I really can't read it because there's some proofreading. It's like there's no editor for this book. The writer is horrible. Yeah, that's Internet Guy. I can't stand Internet Guy. My friends, we are in the golden age of baseball writing. Why? Because of small book publishers. And sometimes when you write for a small book publisher, stuff gets through the cracks. So here's Internet Guy, and there's grammatical mistakes. Jesus. Put the gun down, Internet Guy, and enjoy the content. Yikes. All right, that's the end of my sermon. The book today is Carroll Conklin. Carroll Conklin has written extensively on baseball, especially in the 1960s. This book might be my favorite of his. I got 3 or 4 of his. He's written about all of the teams. Just a very prolific writer. The book is called The Ultimate Fan Guide to 1960s Baseball. The Ultimate Fan Guide to 1960s Baseball. The seasons, the teams, the players. The publisher is Brightstone Press. I will put all of the information for you in the description for the video. The publication year is 2015. What he does in this book is attempt to make the case that the 60s are the best decade for Major League Baseball. How does he do it? Well, he breaks, and I'm going to show you the table of contents. He breaks the 60s down into subjects. So he gives you top 10 lists for, first of all, 10 reasons why baseball was better in the 60s. The 10 seasons he describes, the top 10 teams, the top 10 first basemen, second, every position, starting pitchers, relief pitchers, top 10 trades, the 60s all-MVP team, the 60s all-rookie team, and 10 memorable moments from the 60s. The book is nearly 500 pages. Here's my pen, so it's, I don't know, I would guess 8.5 by 6, something like that. There are a bunch of pictures in the book. Some pages are largely pictures. Give you a sample here. So you get definitely a flavor. All the pictures are black and white. You definitely get a flavor of the players from the 60s if you don't know them all from your baseball cards or whatever. Here's another page of largely pictures. Now, there are stats in the book, but this is not a sabermetric trope. He is good with data. He is good with the common kinds of data that the average fan knows about. He knows the history of the 60s very, very thoroughly. And he writes in a way that is sentimental without being maudlin. Here's another page of pictures. So I really like the book not only as a resource, but also as just something to read. It's an interesting argument. It's not an easy argument. I think the 60s were, all of the decades have been wonderful decades for baseball. And the 60s, of course, have a glut of representation in the Hall of Fame. I think it's difficult to make the case that the 60s were the best decade in baseball history, and so he's got an uphill battle here. I'm not sure he does that for me, but he sure makes it an interesting read in his effort to try. So I recommend Carroll Conklin, The Ultimate Fan Guide to 1960s Baseball. The only thing missing that I always talk about is an index. There is no index in the book, but it is an interesting read, almost 500 pages, and you will be interested. There are the player selections, the team selections, top 10 teams, top 10 players, are very interesting, and some of them are, not down the same worn, beaten path of who you might think he's got for the top 10s. So it's interesting. It's a good book. Internet guy, put the gun down, and I hope you pick it up. Price varies a lot. This book can be difficult to find. Again, a small publisher, probably sets off Internet guy again, but you can find it somewhere between $10 and $20. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe to my channel. I need your subscriptions to keep my channel going, my friends. Thank you so much for your support. Have a wonderful Monday. So long, everybody.